CTE versus CIT, part 3, and most likely my final video on this topic. But this is a tack on actually. I'm going to tack on 4 shots. Sort of a drag draw, a finesse shot, and a hard shot with draw, and then a hard shot with follow. I'm going to use a 30 inside alignment for each shot using the same visual and the same center cue ball alignment with 0 adjustments. I've placed this cue ball into the corner of the rack line for 14-1, and then I've placed my cue ball in a line directly from the pocket to the object ball on the headstring, so that way I can get a consistent setup. So the first shot that I'm going to shoot is just a drag shot. 30 inside. Professional players don't like off-speed shots such as that. This next shot, same visual, same alignment to center cue ball, and this is going to be sort of a maxed out finesse speed shot, one that I'm going to bring the cue ball back up in here, barely into the kitchen. So that was pretty much the max of what I would call a finesse shot. Because I'm going to hit the ball any harder than that, then I'm going to change my grip strategy. So for this shot, it's going to be much harder. This is going to be a hard shot. I'm not maxing out my speed here, but it's certainly going to be a hard shot. And I'm going to shoot a draw shot. 30 inside. The same known center cue ball. So it's definitely a hard shot. Not my hardest shot by any means. But when you start getting to that kind of stroke speed, your stroke can go a little bit errant. That's why pros don't like the softer speeds and the real hard speeds, because they represent, you know, opportunities to have errors in your stroke. So this is the last shot I'm going to shoot, and I'm just going to go into a follow shot, a hard follow shot, 30 inside. That could actually be a good one-pocket shot. Make the ball come around the table. Get behind the ball or two and run out. Could be. But anyway, there's discussion concerning various speeds and center to edge aiming, and I just did 4 shots here. Using a 30 inside, using a perception that can be learned and repeated, using a center cue ball that can be learned and accessed by any of you. So I did not make any adjustment subconsciously for dealing with those various speeds and tip positions up and down the vertical axis of the cue ball. So this is another example of where center to edge aiming absolutely trumps cut induced throw. It's such a mental boost to me as a player, and it can be for you as well, to step up to the table, whether you're getting into another shot or you're coming out of the chair. You step up to a shot such as this, and you know the shot as well as a straight in. You know how to align your cue to the vertical axis of the cue ball as well as you would a straight in for a traditional approach. So, pool's in for some exciting times. The paradigm that exists concerning the aiming of one sphere into another that has to be a task of feel is going to spiral down the drain. Pool was never supposed to be a game where you could aim one sphere to another and truly know what you're doing without shooting a bunch of balls and acquiring a lot of experience, such as what the Ham method would suggest. That doesn't mean that you don't have to work to have a good stroke, to be able to move your arm in a very straight manner. That is work. But what I'm saying is that pool is a visual game, and that you can learn the perceptions that connect with the right angles of a regulation table, of which there are 8. And there are 4 perceptions that connect with the pockets, with the right angles of a regulation table. And one of the absolute joys of being able to use center to edge aiming is that you don't have to take into account the aspect of throw. All of those shots I shot with throw being the furthest thing from my mind. I did a little drag shot, I did a finesse shot, I did a hard draw shot, and I did a hard follow shot. There was no differentiation between my visual and my alignment to center cue ball that was present for any of those 4 shots. So I do know what I'm doing perceptually at a table, and I do know how to follow what I'm doing physically. So I'll be sharing all this with you in the not so distant future, but I just wanted to wrap up and do a tack on to this last video to show a real significant contrast in speeds for the use of one visual and the identification of center cue ball in the same way for each shot. Thanks.